Hello there, Merlin here, just an old man. Aespa came out today, so I figured I should watch their video and see what they sound like. Well, hear what they sound like, see what they look like, see how they perform. There's been the sort of hype up that they are using avatars. They're having this sort of virtual kind of presence, and I'm intrigued. I'm interested in seeing what happens. Haven't heard any music yet, but they're certainly colorful, aren't they? What I do know is that there are two Koreans, a Japanese woman, and a Chinese woman. That's all I know. I think one is named Karina, one is named Winter, and then the other two, if I think about them, I'll try and remember them. But I don't know them apart. I literally have not watched them do anything yet. So let's get ready. I want to be able to see, and I want to be able to hear. So Aespa from SM. Let's see how they perform. Here we go. Yes, very colorful, very fantasy world. I'm addicted, 끊임없이 말을 걸어주는 나의 Aespa. 이런 교감, 너의 존재 날 다른 차원으로 이끌었지. 난 세상 중심의 The music's got a heavy bass and it's very dancey kind of music, clubby kind of music. It's got that heavy dance sound to it, and they're sort of the girl crushing. They're big and colorful. It's got a youthful feel to it. A lot of those close-ups. So that dropping down into a snaky kind of position, it's like the most complex or the most significant choreo move I see. Yeah, the choreography is sort of, it's simplistic. It's like dance floor moves, right? They don't seem incredibly interpretive. They're more rhythmic, which is fine. I mean, it's dancey kind of music. And I'm not looking at any of the words yet. The one, I know there's a black mamba, is a big snake, right? And so they have that one interpretive kind of move where they drop down into like a snake striking position at one time when they're doing that with their hands. But beyond that, the choreo's sort of simple, flashy and simple rather than subtle and interpretive. That snake drop down, We're seeing the virtual avatar things. Not sure where it goes yet, but they're showing up. It's almost got a little bit of superhero feel to it when they do the avatar thing. then the digitization, the avatar creation it's sort of post song, right? And we'll see where this goes just for now. Okay, so at the end there, it's one of those. It's like the teaser for the next thing, right? That's where it's going, and that's where the concept is going from here. Okay, so I got this first impression. I'm gonna step away and look at the lyrics, and then come back and watch it again real quick, so that I get some like an informed commentary on this. Okay, so I looked at some of the lyrics, and I get a definite feeling of, they're talking about the new world that the avatars live in. They're talking about syncing with the avatars, but it's not necessarily like they're talking about them like a video game. It could be they're trying to access their inner power, or they're trying to connect with some other person. There's ambiguity there, and then in translation things go away. But there's definitely a feeling. You see other groups do video game music, right? Video game themes. And this feels like a video game theme without the video game, if you know what I mean. This virtual world that's been created with the avatars and things makes this look like the video game music videos that I see other groups do after they've been around for a while. And that's not a negative thing. It's just that's what it feels like to me. So I'm going to go through it again just to get a feel, final first impression. And there are very interesting similarities to other groups. And there's nothing really negative about that, but they're using a formula that works. You can probably think of a couple of groups that are already imaged here, and I don't want to mention other groups when they're watching this one, but they sing well, they do their choreography well, their acting, the concept, the acting and the concept, it works well. It's all very well put together. The colors are awesome. I mean, they hit you. And they even comment on that. When they talk about going from monochrome to color. The plants, sort of the natural plants, are contrasted with the fantasy plants, with these plants. And that's an interesting... They're continually drawing that distinction between the real world and this fantasy world. Now, even without the avatar feeling to it, we all kind of have a notion of what that's like. It's like there's this fantasy world and there's a real world, and they don't look the same. And we're always trying to bring some of our idealized fantasy world into reality, right? So literally, it makes sense. I have to admit I'm a little confused by the snake being involved when they have the avatar thing already set up. This is an interesting... It's almost like the goddess of death that she's communing with. And that probably has something to do with the avatar world that I don't know yet, that we don't know yet. You might know. You probably researched it more than me. I don't know. I'm just an old man. See, and then in the mirror. Okay, so that implies, of course, they're talking about their avatars, but that's normal human. You look in the mirror and you are trying to figure out what in the mirror shows up to the real world, and what inside of you shows up in the real world, right? So it's got some depth to it. It's very catchy, very danceable, if I may say so. Not that I'm going to dance to it. Nice cannon, like a ripple there. So, and then at the end, they've got this. This is actually, I think, more interesting right here. This actually isn't interesting because it has it's not the same feel, right? A person can imagine that maybe the B-side is a slow song or is a sort of a romantic song. I don't know. But okay, so first impressions. I emphasize I do not like to compare groups, but there are some things here that are really tough to not compare. They sound fine. They've got a good presence. Their presentation of the concept, nice and solid. They're in the zone as far as their debut, their coming out party. And I would like to see where they end up with the virtual thing. Other groups that have a similar feeling don't have the virtual thing, and the one group that has a virtual thing doesn't feel like this. The little bit I've seen of them, so it's going to be interesting. The first video feels good. They are charismatic. I'm going to put some time in with them. Okay, I'm interested in seeing what it's like. So there's a first impression from the Midwestern USA. Just an old man. If you want to hear my ideas, you can follow me. Go and buy me a coffee if you want. Listen to me more if you like. I'm going to listen to them and see where it goes from here. Rock and roll. Talk to you later.